Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? First, let me know, can you hear me? Can you see me? I usually do full HD for my video today, and it doesn't even have the option for 1080. So maybe my beauty is just radiant enough, and I don't need the extra. I'm in a new room. My mic is in a new place. Tell me. I see some people say it looks and sounds fine. Wonderful. Hi, Jackie. Merry meet. Glad you're back. I like that greeting. Hello, April. Hi, Melinda. Greetings, Christine. It is echoey in here. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Song. Love it. Hello, Elena. It's quiet. What about that? Did it get louder? I cranked it up. Chantel, I am in a new place. Who knows? This might morph. I'm kind of nomadic, and I like it. Elisa, good morning from Pennsylvania. It's a bit echoey, Jackie. Okay. All right, maybe it's a work in progress. Thanks for the feedback. Beautiful. Kiana, good day. Volume is fine, is echoing a bit, but fine. We're going to do that today, and then we'll do it another day. Jackie says something about you looks very airy and peaceful. Well, thank you. I feel very airy and peaceful lately. Good morning, Suzanne. Hello, Lori. Christine says, no worries, lovely. If this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso. I'm an astrologer who comes on here a few times a week to talk about whatever the heck is happening in the skies currently. And then we always pull oracle cards in a group setting to figure out how we can best utilize the energies available. I am in a place of transition in my life, so my background is changing. My whole life was uprooted by choice, favorable choice. Everything is wonderful. I'm doing great. I'm super happy. But that's it. So my background is not the best these days, but we're going to work on it. So you're here for the astrology and the personality, right? Not the background. So today we're here to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about how much I'm going to be swiveling in this chair. I haven't had a swivel chair. I took a couple clients here yesterday and I couldn't stop. So we're going to talk about Mercury Retrograde re-entering Leo. We're going to talk about Jupiter conjunct Mars. And we're going to talk about the age of Aquarius. Debbie, Wi-Fi is iffy. Thanks for being here. If we lose you, I trust you'll come back. Beautiful day, AJ. All right, so first things first, Mercury retrograde is re-entering Leo today. Mercury's retrograde began last Monday on August 5th, and he stationed retrograde at 4 degrees of Virgo. He's been there for a week and a half. Today, he is re-entering Leo. While retrograde in Virgo, Mercury was helping us review our sense of service to the world. For the last week and a half, since last Monday, I invited you guys to reflect on whether you were serving others out of obligation. I have to do this because no one else is going to do it. Or were you serving from a place that was truly heartful? So if you want more information on that first week and a half of Mercury retrograde, there is a video on my YouTube channel called Mercury Retrograde Survival Guide. So feel free to dive into that if you want more info. Today, Mercury is heading back into Leo, where he will travel back to 21 degrees of Leo until he stations direct on July 28th. So This will now transition into a time to begin to review and reflect on what's been going on in your life, specifically since July 16th. Why? On July 16th, that's the day that Mercury entered his shadow phase. That's the day where Mercury was moving forward like normal and he came to 21 degrees of Leo. That's the point where the retrograde will now end. So that's called the shadow phase. So that means that while Mercury is retrograde, he gives us the opportunity to review where he has already been. So as Mercury retrogrades back through Leo, he's going to ask us to continue to review what our hearts are desiring. Leo rules the heart. Mercury is going to help us make sense. Mercury is mental. Mercury likes information, facts. So Mercury is going to help us make sense of what our hearts have been calling us towards, specifically since mid-July when he entered his shadow. While Mercury was direct in Leo, and this was through the beginning of July, while he was moving forward in Leo, Mercury was helping us think and communicate through the heart. Then he entered Virgo at the end of July, and he became a bit more analytical. Mercury in Virgo wanted facts. He wanted evidence. He wanted concrete, earthy affirmation, right? Now he was retrograde through Virgo, retrograding back into Leo today. Now that he's re-entering Leo, Mercury is ready to make mental sense of what our heart has been calling for since mid-July. Mercury, the mind, is ready to listen to the heart and to give the heart a new voice. This retrograde, this reviewing process, there's something that like the heart was so passionate about what it wanted. I feel like there were some details that were missed. So Mercury is here to give the heart more of a voice and to mentally check in if this is still what the heart wants. Additionally, today, hi Nancy, and Christine is definitely serving from the heart. Do you feel the difference? Do you feel the shift when you serve from obligation versus serving from joy and passion? Hello, Jacqui. Suzanne had some communication glitches lately. Lots of technical trouble on a Zoom meeting. The daughter left her phone in an Uber. That sucks. Stereotypical Mercury retrograde stuff. Technology tends to flare up. Travel tends to flare up. So car issues are so prominent during Mercury retrograde. Scheduling tends to get funky. So double check your appointments if stuff is getting canceled and moved around. That's all right, Mercury retrograde. I guess it wasn't the right time, right? Good morning, Adriana. Hello, Jenny. What else do we have going on today? A few things. Another thing that I want to talk about is that we have a conjunction today between Jupiter and Mars at 16 degrees of Leo. This conjunction has been building all month. They've been approaching all August. Today is when they meet up exactly at 16 of Gemini. And then they're gonna separate but still be active for the rest of August. So this transit is August, right? I've seen a couple of like fear-based astrologers talk about this Jupiter-Mars conjunction, and I don't even want to bring attention to what they're saying might happen. I wouldn't say, Suzanne, yep, we're getting there. I wouldn't say that these other astrologers are wrong, but it's just not my style to focus on the scariest part of the transit because we gotta prep just in case. So you gotta look over your shoulder. Yeah, that's not what I do. I'm not a prepper. I'm not one to like constantly be like, whoa, do I have to watch my back? I've developed way too much trust in order to live that way. So when I look at transits, I look at the planets objectively, what does this planet mean, and what does this planet mean, and what signs are they in, and what are all of the facts? And then I choose to focus on what I want, because where attention goes, energy flows. So do you want to feed this like, oh no, it's Mars, it could be angry? Yeah. So I'm going to focus on what I want. And what I want is, so we have Jupiter and Mars coming together in Gemini. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. He makes the other planets so big when they come together. He's coming together with Mars. Mars is the planet of action, ambition, motivation. So this conjunction is getting us so ready to act. Jupiter, expand, abundance, so much. Mars, action. It's possible to jump the gun with this aspect, with this conjunction. And let me explain. This conjunction is happening in Gemini. Gemini is air. Air signs are speedy, quick. Gemini represents the mind and our thoughts. So there may be a thought that you have been processing for who knows how long. There may be a thought that you've had in there, and this Jupiter-Mars conjunction has you feeling so ready to hit the ground running, to just sprint into exactly what it is that you want. This can feel like, oh my God, yes, I see the signs, especially because Mercury has been retrograding through Virgo. We've wanted that evidence. We've been reviewing the details, we've been analyzing, okay, is this actually happening? Is this really for me, right? So this Jupiter-Mars conjunction can feel like balls to the wall energy on an idea that's been building, okay? Is it a good thing to act now? Is it a bad thing to act now? I don't believe that anything is good or bad until you place that label on it yourself with your perception and your whatever. Everything just is, right? Every choice that you make just is. Every situation that you have in your life just is. You can choose to act, and there will be a set of consequences. You can choose to pause and reflect, and there will be a set of consequences. Is one better than the other? Your reaction to those circumstances is what will make your choice appear to be good or bad. What I will say astrologically is that if this is truly a knee-jerk idea that began within the last 2 weeks, just know that Mercury was retrograde when this idea budded, right? If this is something that you have had this crazy idea August 5th and beyond, like, man, it's time to do this. Now I have this action, this power, I want to take action. If that happened when Mercury was retrograde, then the energy behind your thoughts about this idea might switch when Mercury changes direction in 2 weeks. If this is an idea that began before August 5th, if this idea began before Mercury stationed retrograde, then for the last week and a half, you have been experiencing your first practice of checks and balances with Mercury retrograde. And if the fire is up your behind, despite uncovering new information about this radical idea, a lot of Uranus stuff going on too, guys. This is a radical idea. If the fire is still lit, despite all this review, then I would say you'll prosper in this new venture that you are feeling tingly to go after. However, I just want you to know that you have 100% free will. You are a sovereign being, regardless of how you feel. You have sovereignty. You're 100% in control of your emotions, even though it might not feel like it. You are 100% in control of your reactions. So don't take my word for it. I'm not a guru. I don't know everything. I'm just giving you my opinion based on my life experiences. Check yourself. check yourself. Do I feel like acting on something that I came up with a week ago? Or is it something that's been kind of budding around, and now Mercury Retrograde is helping me reflect and review, and that's what Jupiter Mars, I believe, is all about. Hello, Alana. Just joined. If you guys ever come in late, I do record these sessions, and I put them on my YouTube channel. So you can copy and paste my name, search me on the internet. I'm everywhere. I have a very unique name and everything. I used to have a business name, and now I'm switching everything to just Jacqui Mancuso to make it easy. So if you want to find me, just search my name. Lastly, Hannah says this is really resonating as I have been feeling the desire to go back to school for where I would like to go with my career. Lovely, Hannah. Thank you for bringing up school as well, because Gemini is the learner. The Gemini Sagittarius axis is about teaching and learning. So Gemini is new information. Gemini is curious. Gemini wants to learn, to intake information. So I think that's lovely. If you guys are considering learning a new skill right now, researching something, reading about something, learning about something, yeah, that's Gemini for you. All right, so lastly today, this is just a little bit of fun. You guys know that song, Age of Aquarius by the Fifth Dimension. Who was it? Suzanne just referenced it. Yep. Does anyone remember how the lyrics start? What are the first few lyrics? I can hear Christine singing it right now. So the lyrics start, when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. That song was written in 1969. And yes, this conjunction, this Jupiter-Mars conjunction, it happens every 2 to 3 years. I think, I'm honestly guessing on that. I know it takes Mars about 2 years to do a full circle. And Jupiter changes signs about 1 time a year. So that would put it around every 2 to 3 years, Jupiter and Mars meet up. And the moon is in the 7th house once a day. So this isn't anything monumental, but this is something that crossed my mind in December of 2022. So maybe this is a way for you guys to learn how stubborn Jacqui Mancuso can be. I was in my truck and this song came on, and this has been, like, I hosted a retreat that I'm hoping in the future to do more of, and I called it Aquarius Adventures because I'm just all about this Aquarius energy, this age of Aquarius. It's like so me, it feels so good. So I was driving in my truck and the song came on, and I was stoked to find out when it was happening. I was like, oh, I can figure this out. I can see when this is going to be real. So in Chicagoland, this happened overnight. This exact moon was in the 7th house and Jupiter aligned with Mars. And this got me thinking about the age of Aquarius. What is it? Are we in it? And I think I'm going to have to take some time after this to make a whole separate video, and I'm just going to throw it up on my YouTube because I started talking about this morning and I realized that I could talk about the age of Aquarius for an hour easily. And I've been feeling good things about this time period for the last 3 or 4 years. Like, I've known that this is when things are getting good. And now I'm actually seeing them happening. So yeah, I think I'm going to record something separate and I'll put it up on my YouTube probably later today. However, if you can't wait, I did make a video last summer. It's on my YouTube channel. It's called The Beginning of the End. Easy to find. Because I gave a workshop about how all of the outer slow moving planets, they're all shifting signs one after another, year after year. And I believe that this is ushering us into the age of Aquarius. But what I'll leave you with here today, before we get to the cards, is that I believe the age of Aquarius is a choice. I believe everything that we do here is a choice. You know, if you want to be in the age of Aquarius, then you're already more than halfway there. Where attention goes, energy flows. There's no, in my opinion, right? Different astrologers have different opinions. There's no official start date to the age of Aquarius. There's no official end date to the age of Pisces. However, intention is everything. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you want to keep focusing on, oh my gosh, everything's happening so slow, nothing's working out, I have to do this and this is hard, then you're going to continue to build that energy around you. Or if you are like, oh my God, we're coming into the age of Aquarius, it's all about community, it's all about collaboration, it's all about working together, grassroots, wow. Focus on that, look for that. Aquarius is all about trade and barter, and let me tell you, the monumental growth I've seen in my life, getting dollar amounts out of the way, working on trading and bartering, you have the ability to step into that. You don't have to have the world give you permission to live the way that you want to live. Definitely going to make a longer video because we've already been here for 22 minutes and I got to get to the cards. I'll be back on Friday to discuss some multiple squares, conjunctions, oppositions that are happening in the sky. And if you can't wait that long and you want more Jacqui astrology right now, you can join my Patreon group. I run a group on Patreon called Embody Astrology Lunar Events. The info is in my link tree, which is in my Insight Timer bio. We're meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., so it's 23 minutes from right now, 9 a.m. Central Time. So we're meeting tomorrow on my Patreon group. We're going to deep dive into the full moon that's coming up in Aquarius on Monday. And then within this group, I offer the opportunity for you to ask me questions about how the lunar event is impacting your birth chart. So just know that outside of a coaching package from me, this is currently the only place that I look at people's charts and I help them read them. So it's called Embody Astrology Lunar Events. The link is in my link tree. And that's tomorrow morning. And then I record the sessions if you can't make 9 a.m. tomorrow. They're always Tuesdays or Thursdays at 9. Today, we're going to use 2 different decks to ask 2 different questions. We're going to focus on the Mercury Retrograde moving back into Leo. And then we're going to focus on Jupiter conjunct Mars. And let's see what you guys have been talking about. Melinda, yes, it popped into my head, but you typed heart when I saw the title of your live. Hell yeah. Kelly, good morning. I'm resonating a lot with this, experiencing the shift in new relationships and reflecting. Christine loves it. Moon is in the 7th house once a day. The horizon goes all the way around once a day, sunrise to sunset. So the houses will, yeah, it doesn't, once a day, Jacqui. Christine is always in the age of Aquarius because it's a choice. Suzanne just looked, the moon is in my 7th house now. I love that. Yeah, Age of Aquarius video. Once I'm done with this, I'm just going to record and throw it up. So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see that. This feels exciting, Suzanne. Me too. Jacqui, does your Patreon help with understanding day-to-day astrology? I still struggle with that because I get overwhelmed. Let's ask my current Patreon members who are here right now. Does the way that I teach in my Patreon, does that help you with day-to-day astrology? The intention of my Patreon group is to show you the chart of the full moon. And I say, hey, look at all these aspects. This is what's happening. This is what all of this means. And it goes a lot deeper than what we do on Insight Timer. And then I say, why don't you apply this to your chart? Feel free to ask me questions. And usually what happens is I pull up someone's chart, they ask me one question, and then I just talk about their chart for like 5-10 minutes. So Heather says, yes, the Patreon group helps, and it's more personalized. Thank you, Heather. Jess says it does. help with the day-to-day astrology. And Astrology 101 is great too. Thank you guys for being like my little spokespeople. I forget what I do. I have a course on Insight Timer called Astrology 101. That will help you with day-to-day astrology for sure. We're going to use the guides of the hidden realms to ask, this is about Mercury retrograde moving back into Leo, how can we help our mind connect with our heart for the next 2 weeks? We got 2 weeks. Jackie says, I think it helps with lunar events that can be extrapolated to larger impact. I think the Insight Timer Astrology 101 course you have is the bomb for learning. Thanks, Jackie. And other Jackie will look into it. Beautiful. Okay. How can we help our mind connect with our heart for the next 2 weeks? Always group readings. Feel free to send your energy into this deck. If this is your first time with me, the whole reading is for everybody. Wow. 3 cards have already fallen out of the deck. I always do 3 card readings and then it's whatever. So I'm going to show you the backs of the cards. So you're about to see this same image 3 times, okay? I want you to play with your intuition. You can do whatever you want. You have free will. But I like to have this little playground of like, ooh, what's different? Did a bird land on my window? Did my ears pop? Whatever. If anything in your environment changes, maybe that message has a stronger pull for you. If you feel nothing change, your intuition isn't broken, the whole reading just holds equal importance for you. So we have 3 cards. I'll show you the backs. You let us know in the chat which cards are resonating more strongly with you. How can we help our mind connect with our heart over the next 2 weeks? Here is the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. Let us know in the chat which cards are resonating. I'll show them one more time just in case. The back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. I'm laughing because Christine said all 3 make me very itchy, and I just noticed I have this bug bite on my neck. I don't know what it is. I think it's a spider bite, but like, look at that thing. It's so itchy, and I'm trying not to like draw attention to it. And then Heather or Christine's talking about being itchy. It's really funny. All right, so Jackie is working with 3, a number I rarely feel. April 2 and 3, Nancy 1, April 1 and 2, Blanca 1, Christy 3, Win 1, Rebecca 2, Lori 1 and 3, Alana 1 and 3, Christine all 3, itchy, Elisa 1, Tracy 1, Heather 2, Mimi 1, Nicole 1 and 3, Kiana, all of them, Jackie Frozen, anyone else? Excuse me, Tony 1 and 3, Chantel 2 and 3, Jenny 1 and 3, Claudia 2 and 3, Fabiana 3, Bonnie 2. Jeez. Jess 3 keeps giving me some sense of releasing and letting go. Cool. Cool. Kayla 1, lean back. 2, cut yourself some slack. Don't rush so much. 3, remember to breathe, keep the focus, even through the distractions and contrast. I love that. Melinda 1 and 2, Lori all 3, Melissa, I had a muscle twitch on 3. Cool. Suzanne, 3, then 2, then 1 on the itchy twitchy scale. Interesting. Melinda, maybe 3, 2. April 2. Awesome. Jackie's back. Kelly 1, AJ all for me. Fabiana, the clock was at 14:44 and a fly flew over my head when you showed 3. Cool. Andriana's working with all of them. Great. So we're asking, How can we help our mind connect with our hearts? We're specifically asking about when Mercury Retrograde enters Leo, again, helping our Mercury mind connect with our Leo hearts. Card number 1. Card number 1. It's card number 8. The message is grace within the chaos. I'm doing my best to keep the glare off. The key concepts for this reading, the key concepts for this card. I just saw Richie's message. Richie, we do group readings, but you literally hopped in as soon as we started. This is the first card, so it's all here for you. Grace within the chaos. The key concepts are grace, choice, accepting the complexities of life, not taking this world personally, the seduction of a distraction, the seduction of distraction. Every day you awake is the gift of a new beginning. Will you decide to walk through chaos with grace or get spun out by that chaos? You can choose to express yourself with love or with divisiveness. In pain and heartbreak, you still get to choose whether to be present to all life has to offer or to distract and numb yourself with avoidance. Where you place your attention and energy will grow. So choose abundance, gratitude, meaningful activities, self-care, compassion, kindness, creativity, joy, and laughter. Today, you are asked to walk with grace, to see through the lens of compassion and courage, and take nothing personally. How can you bring your best self to this situation? Can you remain in the eye of the storm and observe the world rather than identify with it? Can you release the need for certainty, expecting the outer world to behave the way you think it should? Acknowledge complexities and nuance without trying to force a change. It's time to wear the world loosely around your shoulders and have a sense of humor. All will be well. You are exactly where you need to be. Trust that this chaos is temporary. How can we help our mind connect with our heart? Let go of the expectations that your mind places on what your reality should be and just go with it, flow with it. If there's chaos, if stuff is hitting the fan, which the rest of August is going to be pretty chaotic. There's a whole lot of Uranus energy coming up. This Mercury retrograde stuff is happening. Like, get ready and learn how to roll with it. Learn how to surrender to it because nothing is happening to you. Everything happens for you, right? Oh man, my car broke down. I had to ruin my whole night. I had to call a tow truck. I had to throw all this money out. But like, there's a reason. Laugh about it. What did you learn from it? The situation itself is not the difficult part. It's your reaction to it. It's your reaction to it. How come other people can go through the same situation that you did and they're laughing and they're joyous and they're making the best out of it? You know, how come it has to be so hard for you? That's because the mind wants to control the situation. How can we help our mind connect with our heart? Go with it. Flow with it. Choose to focus on grace and accept. Yeah, a lot of times we get annoyed with when stuff changes because we were so focused on what we were doing, right? Like, man, no, I had this plan. I was supposed to be here. I was supposed to do this. This is what I was going to do today. And then something happens and our whole day is thrown off. And it takes hours to like, God, but I was supposed to be doing that other thing. Like, just go with it. Just go with it. The seduction of distraction. Maybe you weren't on the right path. And then the universe had to pull you over to a different direction. April said, oh boy, this is screaming at me concerning my business and soul work. Yikes. April, yeah, take nothing personally. If you take things personally, and this is me speaking from personal experience, if something in the world happens and you're like, oh my God, that was because of me, right? That was directed at me. Oh, these people are talking, they must be talking about me. Oh, that person oh, that person's acting weird. My friend is acting weird. I must have done something wrong. If you have those kinds of thoughts, it's time to go into yourself and heal yourself, because the world doesn't revolve around you. Not everyone is reacting to you and your actions all the time. And once you're able to detach from that, wow, is it freeing. Wow, is it freeing. April, I love that the chaos is temporary. Yes. We're gonna move on. How can we help our mind connect with our heart for the next 2 weeks? Card number 2 brings us card number 1, Serenity Out of Exile. Is that a dragonfly? That's a dragonfly and a moon on the card. That's cool. The key concepts for this card: serenity, exhale, surrender, release from perfectionism, radical acceptance. That sounds very similar to the first card that we just pulled. Sustained uncertainty can lead to hypervigilance, where you spend most of your energy on patrol against potential threats from the outside world. In trying to protect yourself, you've banished yourself to the brackish, watery depths, caught within a tangle of prickly brambles that you can't see a way through. You've walled yourself off from the world and your connection to your higher power. Yet, there are pearls submerged with you, hidden in those branches. A reminder of how far you've come despite this temporary existence. It's time to leave this seductive state of hyper-awareness and re-enter your life with full permission to rest and cultivate inner peace. The challenge comes from within. Know that you are worthy and nothing is worth depleting yourself for. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. The past doesn't have to repeat itself. When you know your worth, your choices will be in alignment with your destiny. Allow yourself to trust and to choose something new and beautiful. Then the next right action will be revealed. Breathe, fall back, and keep your heart open. Allow serenity to take its place within you once again. Give yourself this gift. Gather your pearls. Just, oh my God, this card is inside my brain. So how can we help our mind connect with our heart? Surrender. That's another surrender card. Just drop the fear. It is what it is. My aunt hated that saying. She used to talk about it all the time. Aunt Jeannie, she hated that saying because her son would say it to her all the time, but I'm on board with her son. It is what it is. If you cannot accept that it is what it is, that's your mind sabotaging what is happening, what is reality. But it should be different. It's supposed to be different. They're supposed to be doing this. Everyone should be acting like this. It is what it is. How can you help your mind connect with your heart? Accept, surrender to what is. Go with it because you're guided. You're so protected. You're so provided for, looked after by energy. right? It's not by a person. Like there's no person that's coming to save you. There's just this, you want to call it God, you want to call it the universe, you want to call it source. Like there's something. You want to call it your guardian angels, you want to call it your spirit guides, whatever it is. I think we're all tuning into the same thing and calling it different names. It's energy. I feel that it's energy. When you want something, it's here. But it's a heart desire. When you want something, it's here. When you think mentally, it has to be this way in order for me to, the only way I can be happy is if the ducks line up this way. That's when you sabotage it. When you desire something with your heart, ooh, wow, this would be really nice. So I'm going to ask for it. And if I don't get it, that's cool because something better is coming. How do we help our mind connect with our heart? Yeah, stop thinking it has to be this one pinhole way in order for you to be good. There's many ways that it can be good. Acceptance can only be accessed through a very human grieving process. We can't force ourselves. Let me read that again. Acceptance can only be accessed through a very human grieving process. You got to grieve what you thought you were going to have. I like that. I like that. Thank you. Kayla saw a dragonfly as I pulled into the parking lot at work today. Of course you did. April, love that card. April, pearls submerged and dragonflies in Japan. Both have special meanings of value, self-worth. Christine, that was card number 2, but the card was number 1. Radical acceptance is indeed a process. For sure. For sure. Accept that this is a journey. Accept that this is stuff that, like, you're not going to figure it out overnight. You might want to. You might feel like you're going to, and that's awesome. That's the kind of hopefulness that I hang on to all of the time. That's how I get myself to monumental places, because I just have this full, like, yeah, it's happening. I don't know when, but it's happening. It is happening. Detaching from the outcome, right? Blanca, this is Guides of the Hidden Realms. I'm holding it up right now. Melise, thank you so much for your donation. It's so appreciated. April, okay, thank you. Many ways it can be good. Wording. Carrie, we are divine beings having a human experience. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And we can celebrate our progress along the way. 100%. So important to look back and give yourself a pat on the back. You've already accomplished so much. Why don't we allow ourselves to be happy that we've done that? Everything that you have today that you love, you created it. You brought it in. Whether if it came from someone else, you called that person into your life. Your actions attracted that person who helped you get to where you are today. Kelly, I have so much internal resistance toward card 3. I'm curious about it. I know Jacqui also said that card 3 was resonating with her, and that's not one that normally does. And was it Fabiana who said the 1444? Well, card number 3 is card number 4, and we've been in this session for 44 minutes, by the way. Card number 3 is Treasures in the Deep and Dark. Wait for it. 4444. I have a timer on my video. I don't think you guys have the timer, but we've been here for 44 minutes and 44 seconds as I read that. The key concepts. Okay, how can we help our mind connect with our heart? Shadow work, healing old wounds, experiencing relationships at a deeper level. Sorry, I just had a thought. Okay, so sometimes you can play in shallow waters and discover something valuable, but now is not one of those times. To find the real treasure you seek, you need to dive deep down and face the shadowy places in that were in You need to dive deep down and face the shadowy places in you that were long forgotten and denied. Something reflected in your life now echoes your past. Be brave, for this is a call to healing. Know that those wounds don't define you. The past doesn't dictate your future. The first card said that. Your past doesn't have to repeat itself. When you dive into the depths of your psyche and accept this, there is no need to deny any part of yourself again. Learn, love, and accept every part of you. When you can be compassionate and forgiving to yourself, you will experience so much more beauty and joy. Open yourself to receive and make space for more abundance in all areas of your life. You will see evidence of your success soon. Remember that intimacy is not found on the surface. Don't be afraid to dive deep in your conversations with others. You will be glad you went there. How can we help our mind connect with our heart? You got to dive deep into yourself. And wow, did that flood me with everything made so much sense, especially we were just talking about how come we don't ever celebrate ourselves. It's probably because we hold this sense, and it can be anywhere on a spectrum of size, right? This isn't like I'm going to say something right now and I don't want you to think like, oh no, it doesn't rule my life, so it might not be there, must not be there. This can be the smallest, minute underlying energy. There's a part of you, if you feel like you have to just keep achieving and keep going and keep moving on to the next thing and keep accomplishing and you got to move forward, you got to be productive. If you have that sense to you, like you're not allowed to just be, what it is a part of you that you are ashamed of because you did a thing or you made a choice or you were not a good person or you held this aura about you for a few years and you just can't accept it. So you feel like you have to prove yourself constantly. It's subconscious. This is not a conscious thought of like, ooh, I'm a bad person and I have to do this. No, it's an operating system that runs in the background. And you just have this feel to like, I just got to be better. I just got to prove to myself. I got to prove to the world. I got to prove to these people that I've hurt in the past that like, no, I'm not like that anymore. I'm good. So you got to keep trucking forward. So how do you clear that out? You go in, you sit with yourself and you say, oh man, you made a mistake. Wow. Now that I'm this age and I'm visiting you at that really young age, oh my God, can I see that you were truly doing the best you could with what you had right now? Wow, I totally forgive you. Oh my goodness, of course you couldn't have known any better. So I do have one insight timer track that is this type of shadow work. On Insight Timer, the track is called Releasing Guilt and Regret. It's a free track. Anyone can listen to it. It's about 20 minutes long. It's my favorite meditation that I've created. And as I was reading this, I was getting this strong sense of like, Jacqui, you got to lead one. You got to do one on Insight Timer. So I need a piece of paper to write a note. I'm going to write it on a Kleenex because that's what I have. And I'm going to look and see if I have time to do a live shadow work on Insight Timer. It felt really strong, so I'm going to look into that. That's it, because this is super important, and it is something that I'm super comfortable with, and I forget that people don't know how to look at their shadow. So I might do that live, and wow, that didn't know where that was going to come from. All right, what are you guys talking about? Suzanne, I have to remind myself more of how far I've come. Get to be proud, 100%. Kiana, don't mean to hijack, but my book that's coming out next month is all about healing and the process for doing the shadow work. Hell yeah, Kiana, you go. Yeah, please. This is not the Jacqui Show, this is the tribe. So if you are doing something that is related to what I'm doing, by all means, guys, just share your wealth, share your knowledge, because we all need to learn how to do this stuff, and I'm not number one. Like, we all got our ways of doing stuff, so yes, that's amazing. Thank you for writing that book, because I don't have time to write a freaking book. That's awesome. Ella, I found a sparrow on the ground. It was almost dying, brought it into the house and started blowing warm breath over her. Once I started blowing warm breath into the belly, she could release and died. Looked up sparrow. It said it's the trust in human warmth. Wow. Wow. I hope that you're able to see that death is not a bad thing. I hope that you're able to see that you gifted that bird the gift of no more suffering, and it came from human warmth. That's amazing. That's great, Ella. Kay says, a course I've been taking on Insight Timer's lesson yesterday was literally about clearing physical space in my home. There you go. Kelly, my phone glitched during this. Really need to work on this. Gina, this is Guides of the Hidden Realm. I'm holding up the box. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. April, oh, I would be brave enough to do the shadow work with you and Tribe. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, it's on a note. If you want to know when that's going to come out, subscribe to my, or like follow me on Insight Timer, whatever that is. Because I'm just going to post it on Insight Timer and we're going to go. It'll probably be at the normal time. Can't promise it'll be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know. I got to look into it, but I'll type it for you guys also in our spiritual community. So if you don't know what our spiritual community is, it's the group that I have on Insight Timer that is pretty much run by Bonnie. Bonnie takes the card messages. I send her a picture. She takes them and puts them in our spiritual community for you guys to reread if you are a reader. So you can get to that. Click on my Insight Timer profile. It's right there. It's right in my profile. It says our spiritual community. I'll let you guys know about my shadow work event because, yeah, I'll do that for sure. That's necessary. Okay, we're moving on because we're getting to the end of this. I could honestly talk here for hours. Boundaries, y'all. This is practice. So that was all about Mercury retrograde back into Leo. I'm going to pull this last card. I'll recap them all together. The second deck, I want to ask about the Jupiter-Mars conjunction, because Jupiter-Mars conjunction in Gemini is giving us this like, oh my God, I have to act on this idea now. So what do we need to know about this idea that we feel compelled to act upon? We're going to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle. What do we need to know about this idea that we feel compelled to take action upon? Feel free to send your energy into this deck. We're going to pull one last card just to clarify this crazy idea that you're sitting on the edge of your seat about. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. You can do so on Insight Timer. If you go into my link tree, I do have links for PayPal and Venmo if you prefer that because of Apple taking over everything. Guys, I got an email from Patreon. Starting in November, Apple is going to take 30% of this Patreon stuff as well. So if you guys subscribe to anyone's Patreon, you're untouched, right? If you're a Patreon subscriber, like you're untouched. But if you start to be a Patreon subscriber after November on anyone's page, if you subscribe with an iOS device, iPad, iPhone, Apple mobile device, it's going to be a 30% increase in price. So I don't know what's happening with Apple. This is a Pluto and Aquarius thing, okay? Pluto destroys Aquarius technology. Stuff's going to get weird with this technology that we've just adapted into our lives for the last 20 years. We're going to start to see how wacko it is and how crazy and controlling things can be. But just letting you know that Apple 30% thing that was overtaking Insight Timer, it's now overtaking Patreon and who knows what else. So just saying. I did want to bring up this one specific thing because I'm trying to ask for help and this is uncomfortable and weird for me. Long story short, guys, I'm living in a new place. My old place had a water softener. My new place doesn't. And my hair is like my most precious commodity. Not vain for physical appearance. It makes me feel a certain way and it's literally my antenna. I have an Amazon wish list and I just put this shower filter on it. So if anyone would like to be so kind to help me regain the softness and health of my hair. I've been here for 2 weeks and like I wash my hair and it feels dirty 5 minutes later and it's a struggle. So that's it. I'm asking for this shower head filter. So if you guys also would like to look at my Amazon wish list and just play, there's some books on there. There's some clothes if you want to see me wear different clothes. It's so silly, but it's fun. It's fun. So thank you guys. You're amazing. Everything is in my link tree. Oh, Monica, wash your hair less? Do you know that I look like I'm bald when my thin hair is dirty? I'm just joking. Laura, Tracy, Suzanne, Christine, thank you guys so much for your donations. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Kajabi, that's another platform. Don't know much about it. It's really unfortunate. Yeah, you know, guys, this Apple thing, I see a lot of comments and opinions about the Apple thing. Nothing is good or bad. Shut up, Jacqui. Nothing is good or bad. It's just happening. If you give your emotions to feeling angry and frustrated with something that you can't control, I see that as a waste. You can take those emotions and channel them towards doing something else. Man, I'm angry that Apple's going to be taking 30%, so instead of festering here, I'm going to use this to try to make new ways to receive. Just saying. Just saying. You do you. But just saying. Melinda, thank you so much. I appreciate your donation. Beth, I think your hair looks great today. Thanks. I just washed it and it feels dirty already. You guys are awesome. Christine needs one of those. Vicky loves a shower filter. Thanks for raising your awareness about apples. Oh, thanks, Rebecca and Alana. Okay, I'm not fishing for compliments, but they do feel really nice. Monica has thin hair. The hard water adheres over time. Yeah, it was instant. It was instant. It is what it is, though your aunt might not like it. Well, Aunt Jeannie, it is what it is. April DM me, thank you so much. Yes, Jess, I have updated my Amazon wish list address. I appreciate you asking. All right, guys. What do we need to know about this idea that we feel compelled to take action upon? The card, this is from the Star Codes Astro deck. And the card is number 23, Jupiter, Abundance. Jupiter is the planet that is meeting up with Mars that compelled me to ask this question. Cool. This was on the bottom of the deck. The conjunction card was on the bottom of the deck. Just saying. All right, so what do we need to know about this idea that we feel compelled to take action on? Jupiter. Jupiter symbolizes how we expand our world through education, law, philosophy, travel, abundance, and an expansive spirit. Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Sagittarius and Pisces, is a huge gas giant as it takes 2.5 times the volume of all the outer planets put together. It takes 12 years to circle the zodiac, spending roughly 1 year in each sign. Named for the ruler of all the gods and surrounded by 79 known moons, Jupiter never does anything in small proportions. One more thing I want to say about this Jupiter card before I get into the message. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, the Age of Aquarius song that we're talking about today, the moon was in Sagittarius yesterday when that happened. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Jupiter. Think bigger. Think bigger. This scenario requires you to be expansive and forgiving Deal with it in a spacious, curious, fair, and philosophical way. Think globally. Bring in contributions from all around the world. Consider traveling physically or traveling with your senses by listening to music from a less familiar culture or tasting their food. Talk to people who grew up in a circumstance foreign to you and get their viewpoint. Diversify your perspective and that of your team to discover the missing pieces needed to make up a larger whole. Engage in abundant optimism. Get the word out through generosity. Give abundantly, and goodwill comes back to you. Invest in education, publication, and broadcasting. Just be careful that your generosity is actually helping the recipient, not enabling or burdening them. Ask what would really help. Jupiter's energy needs a big room and an audience, but it can overshadow important people in more intimate circumstances. Watch that your expansive capacity does not cramp the experimentation of beginners or crowd-beloved introverts. Notice where you might overwhelm the people you love and give them room for their more subtle style. If you are the one being so overwhelmed, appreciate your own value, expand in ways that work for you, and let the person with Jupiter energy do their thing. The challenge of this card, Jupiter can bring too much of a good thing or leave people feeling overwhelmed. Watch out for magical thinking and a Pollyanna avoidance of problems. The gift of Jupiter, give and you shall receive. Jupiter calls you to expand your worldview, so reach out and feel at one with the whole universe. What do we need to know about this idea that we feel compelled to take action on? Think bigger. Give what you have, and that will help you call in and receive what you need on this new idea that you are considering acting on. I think it's so interesting that education came out a couple times, and earlier we were talking about if you are thinking about taking classes, learning something new, go for it. Jupiter is about travel. If you're considering traveling, y'all know, I told you guys, my plan right now is to get a mobile home and go. So this is actually feels really good to hear. However, if travel is not like your idea, perhaps traveling would help you learn how to bring your idea to fruition. This could be physical travel, or this could be traveling through your curiosity, asking people from different walks of life. This is why I love talking to people. This is why I love the work that I do. Outside of this, I do coaching, right? So I get to hear people's life stories all the time. And while I don't necessarily ask people for advice on my life, I hear them talk about their life, and it helps me like, oh, that's how other people would handle that situation. Does that work for me? Maybe, yes, no. So it's cool. So if you have this grandiose idea that you're feeling compelled to act on, ask people who have a different experience than you, a different life experience than you. Hey, what do you think about this? And it doesn't mean you have to take them word for word. It doesn't mean you have to do what they would do, but get a different idea. How would they handle it? Does that work for me? Maybe. Nicole, thank you so much for your donation. Wade says, the first thing I thought when I saw you today was, look out, Jacqui has let her hair down. My hair's been down every day. What's happening? What's happening with my hair today? Does it look that good? Suzanne says, this is kind of blowing my mind. Yeah, likewise. Nicole, thank you so much for your donation. Stuff's changing. Things are changing. Wow. Okay. So whole reading today, we asked, how do we help our mind connect with our hearts? And then what do we need to know about this idea that we're about to travel with? So there's a lot of chaos going on, no doubt. okay, for everybody. It's a hot time astrologically. So one, we're all in this together. Two, you get to choose how you respond to everything that's happening, okay? It's acceptance is going to be your best bet. It is what it is. How can you make acceptance and ragdolling to the universe easier? You go back and you heal the things that you don't necessarily like about yourself. Own it. Those were the two words. When I first started accepting the things that I didn't like about myself, I used to tell stories about like, yeah, and I did this and I really shouldn't have, and that was a really bad thing to do. And this guy that I was working with like cut me off mid-sentence and he was like, own it. He probably added a B word after that because he was super flamboyant. Own it. And I was like, I don't want to, but I instantly knew I need to own it. I made those choices. I did that. That was my past. Wow. And then once you own it, once you accept what is, you don't try to change it and you just live it. Anyway. And then Jupiter wants you to think bigger because you're not this bad, nasty person that you subconsciously think you are. You are amazing. You are the shit. You are capable of getting anything that you want because you deserve it. You don't even have to earn it. You deserve it. It's your birthright. Whatever you want in life is your birthright. So think bigger, ask for it, go get it because it is for you. And with that, cool. Thanks for being here today. This is a great day. I'll be back on Friday. Friday, we're going to talk about this upcoming weekend. It's just hot and heavy. And you know what Jacqui is good at is making it okay. Because everything just is, okay? Other astrologers might try to freak you out. And if that's what you're into, if you're addicted to the drama, go listen to other astrologers. If you want to learn how to practically take what's happening and make the best out of it, come hang out with me. I'll be here on Friday. I'll be here next Monday and Wednesday. And then I'm also going to schedule a time to do shadow work with you guys. That feels so foreign to me, but it felt so right. It could be as early as maybe Wednesday, maybe next Thursday. I was just playing games in my mind, and we'll see. Because Insight Timer needs me to schedule 48 hours out, and then that brings me to the weekend, and I don't work on the weekends. So we'll see. We'll see. Love you guys so much. Suzanne traveling next week to Canada to drop off my son at university there. Freshman, going to meet an old friend who is a writing coach. Of course, you're meeting an old friend during Mercury Retrograde, who is a writing coach during the Jupiter-Mars conjunction in Gemini. Alice, all those things made me the person I am today. The stuff I don't want to own has been my greatest teacher. That meditation, guys, on my Insight Timer profile, releasing guilt and regret, that's a good place to start. I don't know what's going to come out of the session that I do here, but we'll see. Oh, I got to record that Age of Aquarius video too. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's excitement, guys. I'm going to record a video right now. I'm not going to reply to your thank you. I'm not going to do my thank you messages right away. I'm just going to hop right in and record, and I'll get to your stuff later. Anyone who has given me any sort of donation today, I'm going to take one of these books and I'm going to dive for a couple sentences for you. So thank you so much for your donations. You're going to get a personalized message as well. Roseanne, I can't remember out loud if I said thank you, but thank you. If it takes me a minute today, it's because I'm recording a video. Hop on my YouTube channel to check out what the Age of Aquarius is all about. I'm feeling excited, so I'm going to take this and go now. Rochelle, you're the best. Thank you so much. Vicky, thanks, Vicky. Vicky did the I Am ritual for the 888 portal. That's right, I meant to ask you guys how your 888 portal was, and it was great. Thank you. Vicky's talking about the I Am ritual. That is also on my link tree if you want that. It's $8. It's super cheap to transform your life, to create a daily ritual for you, to call in the life that you desire. This great idea that you need to think bigger about. Maybe go do that I Am ritual and call it in. Because if you take one little step every day. Love it. Okay, I gotta go. I could be here all day, but all good things must come to an end. Am I right? You guys are the best. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Sending love to all. Namaste. The light in me sees, honors, loves, respects, and appreciates the light within you. Yeah, dream bigger and flow with what's happening.